Gather round, friends, new and old, and welcome to the POWWOW podcast. I am one of your hosts, Philip.
And I'm the other one. And my name is David.
You know what? I'm sorry. I was distracted by our intro. I swear to God, if ever there's a day, I love our intro music. I think that's
Too.
one of the best things that Casting Crossland's done.
I know.
Yeah, really good.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to them. I just every time it puts me in a good mood. Sincerely, no matter what I'm feeling or what I'm doing, we that always does my heart good. Okay, sorry. How has your week been, David?
My week has been, well, I applied for this job and I didn't get it, which is super disappointing. But part of the problem is that I have no interest in a career. Well, I mean, that's a
Outside of
lie.
acting?
Well, yeah, I still want to act, and that's the thing. So I was honest in my interview. I was
That's
like,
there's your first issue.
I know, right? I said, like, I'm really interested in a career or a job involving in the industry of hospitality. I've always been interested in that. It's something that I think I thrive in that social environment. But obviously in the future, like, I still want to act, and that's still my goal, but for now I'd love something steady, something that I can rely on, and that was one of the reasons why they did not hire me. Also, because I have no hospitality experience. I did get past the first round of interviews, and like, I think they really considered me. So I'll take that as a positive, but man, it's tough finding a job right now. Holy crap. Yeah.
Yeah,
How about you?
I understand. My week's been all right, as you can see, as you can probably hear by this point. I'm still in the Abuela Studios, as I am still live transmitting from my grandmother's house. But by next week, I should be back in my home studios and be able to give you that full quality richness sound of Philip that you neither probably care about but deserve. So. But other than that, everything's been all right, man. It's been it's been an eventful week, but other than that, it's been great. I'm very excited for our main topic. It's been something that's probably been
Yeah.
in our mind, in our ether, something
Yeah,
that we've wanted
we
to
wanted
do.
to talk about it for a while. Just waited for the right time, the right moment, the right person
and
to.
and the right guest,
Yeah,
We
yeah,
did,
exactly. That's why I said person. Yeah,
yeah.
we want. I think we've already recorded the main topic,
In
but
all
just
honesty, yeah.
yeah, open the doors here. Let you look behind the curtain. We've already recorded this main topic and the game, and it's a fun episode coming up. So enjoy.
So we are coming to you before the main topic and a rarity for a new mini-seg that we will also complete normally where it normally goes. The reason why we're kind of going this mishmash way is because it's a new mini-seg called Password. You may be familiar with this if you've watched some late night shows or maybe even some old games on the Game Network. I've definitely been watching a lot of those around my grandma's house. But it's called Password, meaning me and David will give each other a phrase to use with a guest that we will be having on for the main segment. The key, however, is we have to use it and apply it flawlessly. We cannot get caught by the guest to hear what our phrase is. It has to be used so smoothly that the guest does not take notice of it. If you get caught, you lose our mini segment of the week. Password. Okay. We will be assigning each other a phrase or word. Hoffman, my phrase.
I think I just want to say, I think there's going to be a learning curve to this game, because I think certain phrases are going to work better than others. Just bear with us. I'm sure this will get better every time we play this mini segment. But yeah, so this may not go super smoothly the first time or the second time, but I think it'll be fun regardless.
But have faith, Hoffman. Have faith. All right. My phrase for you, Hoffman, is going to be milk and cookies.
Okay.
Milk.
how
milk
very
and
innocent
cookies.
of you.
Yes. I'm well, with that comment, I'm worried
My
about
phrase
this.
for you is Python peanut.
Oh, Jesus. I'm going to need to note that. Okay, Python penis. Let's get to the main topic.
So for our main topic this week, we're talking about dating, first dates, all the things that come around meeting someone new, getting frisky, and
Getting
falling
frisky.
falling in love, lust, who knows? All of the
All
above.
the L's.
Yeah, all the L's. Any others? Any other L's?
No L's, just yeah, no more L's. Maybe lingo, falling in lingo, if it's so good, if it's such a good date that you start speaking in tongues.
Lunacy.
And
Lunacy.
lunacy.
Yeah, that
Lunacy.
too.
Falling in lunacy with somebody else. And there you go. You just heard the voice of Gabby. She's with us for our main topic. We wanted to balance out the just pure testosterone,
Yeah.
this toxic man energy. Don't want to say toxic masculinity. I think we're pretty good. We're pretty good gentlemen, Phil. But we wanted multiple perspectives here. So we're going to be talking about dating, and we have Gabby to balance out all of our stupid opinions with maybe some wisdom from the female perspective.
I am old, so
I am old. You can't be older than me, Gabby. How old are you?
I'll be 31 in March.
Well, damn, Gabby. I am
Yeah.
28. I thought I was the old. Anytime,
Wee babe.
I know, Jesus. Wow. What an age. Gabby, thank you so much for coming on. We very much appreciate having an enlightened opinion, especially whenever it comes to things like this. I normally have to drag David along to maturity. So let's get to it. Guys, let's talk about it. Best first date spot. Hoffman, why don't you start us off first? Where or what perhaps was like a best first date for you?
The best first date I think I ever had was with my second long-term relationship. We just sort of went with the flow. I knew this like Italian restaurant. I said, "You like Italian food?" She was like, "Yeah, I love Italian food." Her favorite food was pasta. Turns out, right? And so we went to this Italian place, and then after that, I was like, "Hey, you wanna go get a milkshake?" It's like, "Yeah, let's go get a milkshake." It was just spontaneous. Like we didn't sort of overly try to plan anything. Like it had a lot to it. We did a lot of different things without like having like a schedule, like it was free fun. Yeah, it was great. And then I think first date spot though has to go to this girl I dated right before the pandemic. Well, right before lockdown, I would say the pandemic was sort of starting already. And that was this hike in the Santa Monica Hills up this like narrow little stream slash trail. And we got to this waterfall, and it was a really great spot. Like, let me just say, it would have been the perfect first date. I mean, I don't think we were necessarily perfectly right for each other, and that was the only reason why it wasn't the perfect first date. I think it was a really really great spot. This little waterfall in this like little like mountainous area. It was great.
So it sounds like she took you there. She suggested that place?
She knew the spot. Yeah.
Okay. So that's interesting too, having the dynamic of who picks the first date spot. David, do you normally find yourself picking the spot
Yeah,
or
I mean, I think
sharing?
it's, but I'd like to get Gabby's perspective on this because I think
Right.
I normally end up, I normally end up picking the spot mainly because I'm normally the one asking the person on a date, and then it kind of falls on me to plan everything.
So Gabby,
Mhm.
let's go with you. Best first date spot, good first date spot in general.
I'm going to say, well, my best first date is easily my first date that I went on with my husband, which was a 10-day road trip from New York City to Kansas City, Missouri. And
What? And you're going from New York to
yes,
Kansas City.
Two
yes,
Wow.
and
questions.
back and back.
Okay,
Wow.
so
It
is
was
that why it took
technically
10 days?
Yeah, it took 10 days
Right.
because our friend was getting married. And so I guess technically the date was to the wedding.
Ah.
We both
Oh.
went, but the entire first date was a 10-day road trip because we had to drive there and drive back. And best spot on the trip, it was torn between this awesome like glamping teepee in the woods where I cooked us dinner using an 18th century cast iron pot over a fire,
Wow.
and historical Amish village where we learned about
Barn
historical
raising.
things, but I
Being
already know a
Amish.
lot about I already know a lot about historical things, so I got to like Hermione it up when they're like, "What's this?"
Ah,
And I'm like, "That's an 18th
Oh,
century
pick me.
whisk." Me. It played into all my favorite things, which are spontaneous trips with people I have only seen in person for approximately a week ever, potentially murderous situations. Either of us could have been
yeah.
a killer.
Yeah, that's so true. So you at least had some prior knowledge to your now husband
Yes.
before going and embarking on a 10-day trip with him, yes?
Yeah, yeah. So we had actually been introduced by the friend whose wedding it was
Okay.
at the end of class in London, but we were not in the same class.
Were either one of you, in relation to the person getting married that you both knew, were either one of you within like the wedding parties?
No,
No,
just
okay.
random guests. Actually, it was her scheme to set us up, was to invite us to the wedding. Great success on her part.
Great
But
success.
we had been talking over like Facebook chat, Facebook Messenger for like 3 years, like just as friends, like casual. Actually, we did joke about getting married the first week we met. And it was like a hilarious joke where I was like, I'd really love to live in England. We should just get married, LOL. And then we did end up getting married. Oh, yeah, we
Wow.
went on a first date, which was a 10-day road trip. And either of us could have been a killer very easily, but neither of us was.
Well, that you know of.
Yet.
It still remains to be seen on that one,
Mhm.
possibly. But also, my question now to you, Gabby, is in
Mhm.
previous relationships, did you ever
Mhm.
find that a first date was a good indication on the length or term of a relationship?
I will say that other than that date, I have never actually gone on to date anybody who asked me on a date and I went on a date with them without knowing them prior.
Hmm. Okay.
It has
Okay.
absolutely never led to me being interested
So
in
that
them.
was that the wait, are you saying that that was the only instance where that was the case, where you didn't know him prior, really?
No, I did know him prior
No.
pretty well.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
you know.
So yes, I
Wow.
would say 0%. Yes, Phil.
0%.
0%. Okay. So my best first date spot. Went on a date with a girl and took her to this place called Old Glendale. Now, neither one of you are from Arizona, so it's this. Think of like a great Hallmark spot where it's like it has an antiquated vibe, lots of small shops, but there's Christmas lights that they do for the season. Just absolutely beautiful. Great place to just walk around. There's a park. And so what I got was a cord splitter. And what we do is we take turns going on like each other's playlists, and we just walk around. I told her to bring headphones, excuse me, and so we each plugged into the cord splitter, and we just took turns swapping each other's music, listening and just walking around, looking at the sites with one headphone in, talking to each other, and then the other headphone out, so that way we could hear each other. It was quite good. It's quite good. Didn't lead to anything as far as a relationship goes, but it's one of the more memorable first dates that I've ever had. And then best first date spots that I've been on. Well, that was probably honestly like the mixture of it. I guess it kind of depends, right? For me, it's even though it can incorporate a great first date, that doesn't, or at least in my experience, hasn't always equated to a good relationship. In fact, one of my longest relationship, we had a memorable date in my mind, but it was we went to like the Rock and Roll Cafe. There wasn't anything. It wasn't anything. I mean, I was just like first year in college. I'm like, hey, I have $2. Let's go get appetizers or something. It wasn't anything truly special. But what made it special was the people, I suppose. But it wasn't. It wasn't when I look back on that experience. It wasn't anything about the first date that was truly special that made it move along.
Mm.
All right, let's flip the script. Let's
Yeah,
flip the
let's
script. Let's
let's
talk about worst. Worst
worst
first date.
first dates. Gabby, what was
All
your
right.
worst first date?
This one's really easy. I'm not going to say the person's name, but
No, please don't.
don't know them anymore. But easily worst first date was I got set up on a blind date by a friend, and this guy had a really annoying voice. But he mentioned that he had an annoying voice in the date, which put me in a very awkward position because
You agreed.
No.
I don't like lying. And
Yeah.
so he said, people have said I have an annoying voice. And I think
Yeah, he probably said more like, people think that I normally have an annoying voice.
yeah, he did he had quite a nasally voice, which I think could be remedied with some training. But he said, and I think I have an annoying voice. So then I said, well, I think in our own heads, our own voice always sounds strange, and that was my way to avoid it. But we went to a movie. And during the movie, I sat as far away from him in the seat as I possibly could. And then we got dinner, and then we agreed to never see each other again, which was basically ideal. Actually, no, I think we did. We went on a second date. Maybe I'm conflating both dates because we wanted to appease our friend. And nothing was wrong with the idea of going to a movie and having dinner, but it was the most awkward, uncomfortable human that I've ever met. And I am extremely awkward. So it was truly amazing that he topped that.
Guys, can we all agree that though, even though you said it was fine about movie and dinner, I've always found it to be like that is such a far away, like unless you're going to somebody's house, maybe even a drive-in or a drive-through or not, no, drive-in, excuse me. Unless you're going to there, a movie is just not a good first couple of dates because those are like you're getting to know somebody, right, guys?
Unless you go to dinner afterwards, in which case you have something to talk about.
Dinner in a movie as a married person who's been married for like a while. Dinner in a movie is like the greatest date when you're like an old married person. That's when you do save dinner in a movie for when you're married for years, because then you're like, oh, thank God we get to get out of the house.
Yes, absolutely. Amen. But like a first couple date completely kill. I mean, it should kill the conversation. I mean, if somebody turns over to you, I guess it can be a warning sign if somebody's like, "Oh my God, did you see that happening?" No, I didn't. I guess then maybe you're letting yourself and the entire theater know you guys are not compatible.
And also,
David,
the movie, I would say the movie can really influence how well the date goes if the movie is a good movie or a bad movie. Now, conversely,
but you also this is your first date with the person, so you don't know what their tastes are.
Exactly. And I would say, conversely, a 10-day road trip is an extremely good first date, because if you can be with each other for 10 days, that was like, at the end of 10 days, I was like, I know I can marry this guy because I just spent 10 days with him and he did not annoy me.
He didn't annoy me. That is such a high risk, high reward, though. Like that is because if you, because they normally say if you are planning on getting married to somebody, you should take a trip with them because, like you said, if they don't annoy you, if you guys can get through situations and scenarios that arise, finances, a monkey steals your wallet. How do you get back from Peru? All this stuff. Then you guys are compatible for each other. But 10 days, I mean, that's great success. All right, David, your worst date.
My worst first date was when I was living in the UK. I was at university there and I was on the dating app game. It was just not a fruitful place to be on Tinder. I'll just say that. And so I ended up matching with this girl. She was cute. The conversation didn't flow super well on the chat because she was from Taiwan.
Oh.
And she had just moved to the UK about 6 months before that. She was doing her PhD. She was a few years older than me.
Ooh,
and I took her to dinner. I took her to this really nice restaurant in town, quite a fancy one. And the conversation was very labored. It was difficult. I think there was some cultural thing where, and I may be making an assumption here, it may not be fair, but she had ordered a plate of something, pasta, I think, and was trying to finish it. And I don't know if she was worried that it's rude. Like, I don't know if there's I really don't know. I don't want to make assumptions about her culture, but I don't know if she felt like she had to finish the food, but she clearly was struggling. And it was just, I was just telling her, I was trying to communicate. It's like, you can leave it if you want, like, it's okay. And then later I found out that she had no romantic interests in me whatsoever. and that she had been on Tinder and meeting people through Tinder so that she could practice her English. So it was it was
Yikes.
well, needless to say, it didn't go anywhere, and I was a little disappointed. Well, not disappointed that it didn't go anywhere because clearly we didn't click, but just disappointed that I had like paid the bill for this like super expensive meal at that time where I had no money, and I still have no money really, but I had no money. I had to. Obviously I just wanted to pay this bill, and it was, yeah, and obviously it not going anywhere was a little like deflating.
My worst first date, and stop me if you've heard this before, Dave and Buster's. So normally it is
At
a
this point, I guess I should stop you then, right?
right, right, absolutely.
David Buster's
It,
is great.
it is great. Here's the thing though, Gabby. Here's the thing. Dave and Buster's on paper sounds great. The problem becomes if you go there not just for the games. If you go there to actually eat and everything, it actually is kind of convoluted. And I'm nothing to the fine folks in the kitchen of Dave and Buster's that travel across this land. Great stuff. I actually love their pretzel. But I went on a date with this girl to Dave and Buster's, and by the end of the night, it really hurt. I didn't realize how expensive that bill could rack up just so fast, especially at Dave and Buster's, because I think you're thinking like, oh, this is one thing, and then then we'll do the games. It's all so easy for you that you're paying for the convenience, because by the end of the night, I looked at it and I had just done like the price of a car payment. I was like, good Lord. And I didn't feel like either one of us were excessive. That was a crazy one where it's just, even though, yes, there were certain games that we certainly enjoyed, I wouldn't say that the dinner itself, the entire environment, unless you're playing the games, doesn't come across as personal. And you really should be aiming towards catering food either that scopes towards your tastes or your date's tastes, and perhaps somewhere that's quieter, less ADHD repellent, where it's like, oh, there's a game of Space Invaders. I'm sorry, what were you saying about your missing toe? It doesn't really it's not conducive for a good connection place, at least sans the games. The games are, of course, probably what you're looking for. Gabby,
We're going to talk about worst first kiss. Any worst first kisses or worst kisses on a date in general, maybe?
okay, so ironically, maybe they're one and the same, but my date at Dave and Buster's, the date went well, in spite of everything else, and so we went back to her place, invited me up, started talking about work, started talking about things. Well, you know what, I should probably go to bed here soon because of work. Well, let's go. And so make the move, go into the harbor, whatever analogy you want to use. And the standard practice was mouth open. And that was
Yeah.
unusual for me. I was like, okay, so I'm going top lip, right? I'm like working top lip. I'm expecting for closure. I mean, sorry for those who are listening and not being able to see this, but I'm waiting for the bottom lip to join the party. No, so I traveled to the bottom lip, expecting the top lip. Now, okay, maybe this is where. No, do we want tongue? Is that where we're going? No, I go into that avenue. It was all 10 kinds of awkward. Literally disembarked, and we both looked at each other like, okay, well, this has been fun. Hope you have a good day at work tomorrow. Adios. It was horrendously bad and horrendously awkward. And I swear to God, I tried to go through like the ten events of the Olympics trying to make this palatable for both of us, really. And maybe I was over. I don't know. I'd like to think that I don't know. I'd like to think that I'm decent at the exercise, but I don't know. Gabby, your worst first kiss?
Definitely this boy in high school who the whole
Mm.
time I could only think of like a very wet dog, like a dog that was like licking your whole face, like, and I just kept thinking about a dog, which is not ideal, of course.
No.
And it was a very short-lived experience because of the dog imagery.
Mm.
But still to this day, when I think of him, I also do think of a dog. So so that was definitely very bad. It was too long and too damp, just very much like But the thing is, I like dogs. I don't mind when a dog licks my face, but
Right.
it's not romantic. So
But you don't want a human to lick your face in the same way.
exactly.
Mine's not so much about how the kiss felt or went. It was more the context of it. And like I could pick a few different examples, but I'm gonna go. I had driven down to Orange County for a date. I know, bad start, right? I was in Orange County. I met up with this girl who I'd met on one of the dating apps. I can't remember which one. And we had gone to walk around one area and then another area. We were at the beach somewhere, I think in Laguna, and we found this bench at this like over this like fenced off sort of like overlook on like for the ocean, right? And there was this bench, so we sat down and we were looking out at the ocean, and it was a nice spot. And let me just be clear, I enjoyed this date. Like she was fun. We got along quite well. We had a good time. So I went in for the kiss, and it was definitely on, right? And she met me right, right there. Like we started kissing, and she started going at it like really, really mouth open, kind of like it's a bit much for me, but I didn't mind it, except that I could tell because I had him in the corner of my eye that there was this guy standing right there, clearly trying not to look at us, like trying to avoid and trying not to just sort of walk away immediately. And I sort of pulled away from her, and she was confused. She was like, "Oh," and I was like, "No, no, no, there's a guy like right there." And she turned around, and she was like, obviously like all the color drained. She was like so embarrassed, but yeah, it was uncomfortable. It's one of those like I'm not a huge fan of like PDA in
Right.
general, so that was yeah.
Guys, the biggie. Do you normally do things on the first date? Why or why not? Or, what is the reasoning behind it? Hoffman, you first.
I think it really just depends on the person. I think that if you want something to last a while, and this is not a hard and fast rule, I think if you want something to go a long way, it can be better to wait. I think it can be better to make that person like you just as a person first, and then then you get physical, and then it that can help. How do I put this? Just sort of like cement the relationship before you immediately give everything, And so I think that there's a lot of advantages to that. But then at the same time, like some people are both ready, very like on the first date, and power to them. I've been there, sure. I think it just depends on who I'm with, and if I see like real like, oh my god, this woman could be the one, then maybe I will
Maybe then you'll
maybe try to wait a little
you'll
longer.
unleash the python into the world and just
Wow, that was yeah, I think
David's unhinged now.
I can tell, yeah.
I've lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
I
python
think, no, I think like I think that
so.
sometimes you get those nights where it just sort of works. It's natural.
Yeah.
You especially those first dates where you do go to someone's place or they come to your place to watch a movie, in quotes, and then it ends up happening. I don't know, like those are some of the nicest nights. Even if you know that it's not going anywhere, then it can be fun and stay up all night chatting, late night snacks, milk and cookies.
Right, sure. So
Are you
Gabby,
sorry? Are you going on a date with Santa?
Oh man, that was kind of weird, wasn't it, Gabby? Anyways, all right. So Gabby, do you do things on the first date? Do you have a hard and fast rule? Is it malleable? What's the lowdown for you, or was, I guess?
Sure, was. Well, I will say that usually before the first date, and if I like you, then I'll go on a date with you. People who have asked me on a date, just been like, "Hi, do you want to go on a date?" And then we went on a date. It has absolutely never led to anything ever. But if I was just like, "Hello, do you want to do things?" and then we did it, and then I was good, then I will go on a date.
Oh, okay.
It's probably because of my ADHD. I just like to skip over like a lot of steps. Just I'm really impatient. Just get it out of the way. Like,
well, yeah,
I'm like not a particularly modest person. like everybody has seen me naked because I've done it on stage and movies, so I don't care about basically anything.
No, that is something to account for. I think too your level of modesty, of course, factors into this. Like for myself, I honestly have never really done things on the first date. Like you said, right, Gabby? If there's no connection there, I don't even really. Some people even force the issue of like, well, maybe it's a good kisser, and that like brings the mojo back into it. And then you go on a second date because even though the first date went bad, at least the kiss was good or something. I don't even go really in for the kiss if I'm not feeling it and I feel like there's no real connection there. We're both kind of not into it. Then I really don't. I don't go in obviously even for a kiss, let alone more. But for whatever reason, maybe it's just me. I really don't know. I've never really done stuff on the first date. It's just again, I don't think it's necessarily. I kind of am more of like a. I'd rather wait and hold to make sure. I always want to make sure about consent and everything else. So I mean, I just kind of don't. I think I've always had that in the back of my mind to where I worry about that too much that it gets into my head. But I've never really done stuff beyond anything on the first date.
I would
Normally, that's just always seemed to work out. Yeah.
I would tag along there. I think it's sort of, if I've done stuff on the first date with somebody, I think for both of us, I think we're both in the headspace where it's not really the first date. It's kind of the only date, or like, the first of maybe 3 dates, like we no intention of this going anywhere, and I think that's different to a first date where you're looking for something serious.
Yeah, that's a
Sure.
fair add-on, certainly. So all in all, first dates kind of weird, kind of fun. I think that everybody can say like for as much weirdness and awfulness that there is in first dates, they can also certainly be a lot of fun. Getting to know a person is always great, and then also trying to find out, romantically what somebody decides. Where are you going? What are you, where are you taking me? Where am I taking you? What do you like? I think that all the dating things can be fun.
Yeah, there's one more thing. I have you ever had a truly movie-worthy first kiss, or like a spot that was like truly a movie-worthy first kiss spot? I'll go first here. This was the girl that took me to the waterfall. It was our second date. And let me just say, like, I actually like we got along really well. I really liked her. It just wasn't the right time. Right before pandemic. We had gone to the waterfall for the first date. The second date we went to the Getty in LA and walked around, saw some art. It was very, very sophisticated, very bougie, and we were watching the sunset from the Getty over the ocean, and we were leaning up against this railing, and that's where we shared our first kiss. And the craziest part about it was we were sort of in the sunset was in front of us, and this woman, I think, took a photo of us from behind, and she like came up to us and was like, "Oh, by the way, I took this really nice photo of you guys. Do you want me to
No.
airdrop it to you?" Yeah,
What?
yeah, and it was a really great photo. It was actually really cool. Yeah,
I mean, I'm curious. Do you happen to still have the photo?
I'm sure I do. Yeah.
That's crazy cool. Wow, like again,
Mm.
for such like a not meaningless, like it doesn't matter now anymore, but that's still really cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think people should do that more. I think people should take photos, or if the moment is right, if you see something worth capturing, capture it.
A moment's a moment.
If the person is weird about it, then what do you lose? Nothing.
Gabby, do you have a picturesque first kiss?
I would say like more like teen comedy would be the category of
Yeah, I mean,
my
I said movie worthy. I never specified the genre of movie.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
yeah.
not another teen film.
I'm sure
Yeah.
I've had a lot of those like comedy first kisses too. Plenty.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yeah.
I would say like nothing, no, not for first kisses, nothing cinematic because like I said, I like to skip a lot of steps. So usually there's no public locations. My first ever kiss was non-romantic. That's probably the top teen comedy, which was that I was in a play playing Maria in West Side Story, and I had to kiss the guy playing Tony, but I'd never kissed anyone before. And so he's like, "Well, I'll just give you a kiss right now before we go on stage to do it in front of everyone." And then he just like kissed me in the band room really quick, and then he's like, "Guess you've done it." And then we went on for rehearsal, and I was like, "Guess that's it."
Guess that's it. Yikes. Yikes. In the band room.
Yeah, wow, that really takes the cake. Yeah, I think I've had many a European nightclub first kiss
Mm.
with people, but yeah. Messy.
Messy. I don't necessarily have. I mean, Hoffman, yours takes the cake. I couldn't even try to beat that if I tried. Because normally my first kiss, like Gabby, is secluded. It's in a car. It's out of public view. The only one that I can kind of think of that may go to this sector here is in high school. There's this girl that we were like nonstop flirting. We were like always kind of on the DL, just kind of like giving each other a look, and it was like it was almost like not a showmance, but like a classmance, like where like we had one class together. It was theater. Whenever theater came around, it was time to memorize lines, if you know what I mean. So we broke away from the group one time because like I think that they were just cleaning the lobby. We had like a free period one time, and so we meandered over to the back of the back of the stage. We went backstage, and there's like it's a wonderful backstage actually, where there were the two dressing rooms on either side, and directly behind the stage there's like all this woodworking. Like it's just a hall, but it's like it has a lot of wood. I don't know what else to say, but it's like it just architecturally looks really cool. And so hanging by like one rafter, you bring the other person in close, and it was that would probably be my most, I don't know about scenic first kiss, but certainly of a moment, at least in my mind, in my recollection. Look, if I was a third party looking in on it, probably it would be very awkward because it was high school, I'm sure. But from my memory, it certainly was memorable. All right, Gabby, if we haven't scared you off yet, we'll ask you to come back for a game. Is that all right? Would you be willing to come and play a couple games with us?
Yeah, like today or like.
No,
No,
like today.
in a couple
In a couple
segments.
minutes. We're gonna. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We'll do our other discussions really fast, and then we'll get back with you, Gabby. Okay,
Sweet.
sound good?
That's perfect because I got to get my computer charger.
Oh, absolutely. Fantastic. All right, let's go on with the show.
Sweet.
This episode of POWWOW Podcast is sponsored by Sides.
Meet Sides. SIDES, an app that helps you take the law into your own hands.
Turn ordinary agreements into binding contracts in seconds. Then, if a dispute arises, Sides will step in to resolve it for you.
Wait, Phil, that was supposed to be my line.
What did we agree to in the contract?
I don't know. I guess we can use Sides to settle this dispute, because each dispute costs a small one-time fee.
And if you win, which I will, it's all awarded back to you.
Sign up now and get 16% off for a limited time only.
So that was our attempt at password. David, what do you what do you think? Success or not? Do you think that you succeeded?
I clearly failed. I clearly failed. Like I said milk and cookies, and she was immediately like, "Are you dating Santa?"
Yeah.
Oh no,
yeah,
that was a bomb from me. Absolutely bomb.
She completely it took her completely out of the entire line of questioning. It wasn't as smooth as hoped, but it was good results. I will say that was quite funny. Now for the word that you gave me, I think it was a little unfair. I think I was caught a little bit, but you laughed. I broke you on this one.
If you had said that without me prompting you, you would have broke me as well. It was just, it threw me off, man. It was so funny. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. But she didn't really pick up on it. No.
I think it was within the flow of it, and the only weirdness
it probably
was just that
threw her off as well, but she didn't
But it wasn't.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't obtrusive. It didn't take her out of the mindset. I think in our first iteration of passwords, I think it was a success. I like the game. I think we'll have more success.
Yeah, it's definitely
forward.
fun. I think we should do it. Honestly, I think we should do it every time we have a main topic guest.
I'm not against this. I'm not against this. I think, main topic guest. We play password. That. Yeah, I like that. Okay,
sounds fun.
Yes.
All right, let's move on. In line with our main topic of first dates and dating, we wanted to each bring a movie. We're going to do a quick little once more. A movie that we think is an ideal movie to watch is it just on a date or a first date?
No, I would just say on a date. On a date? Yeah, because especially we have already established that we both think that going to go see a movie is already dangerous. But let's assume it's more in the mind of a Netflix and chill arena. Yes.
All right. I'll go first. I I think Disney's usually a safe way to go if you're, especially if you're a guy and you're dating women. I think generally Disney is an acceptable thing. And no matter how old you get, I think in our generation, people love Disney. People love animated movies. And of all of those animated movies, I don't even think this is Disney. I think it's DreamWorks.
Well, you said animated there. I thought perhaps you meant The Last Jedi, since you're talking about Disney. I kid.
Sorry, the one movie I'm going to talk about is actually DreamWorks. It's not Disney, but you get the picture. It is The Road to El Dorado.
On the trail we blaze.
Oh, God. It is one of, if not my favorite animated movie. It's hilarious. It's got so much character. It's fun.
And it's got
a little
in
bit
it.
sexual. Yeah, just like a little, there's a little something there, you know. It's
completely went above my head the first time I saw it though as a kid.
Oh yeah, you don't pick up on that. It's so
you
like
just think that
so subtle.
Maybe they're kissing, maybe.
The positioning of the head is like subtle, but
yes.
But yeah, now that when you're an adult, you see it and you're like, oh my God. No, it's totally a you know, it got that sexy vibe, but while being a super fun, funny, great music animated movie, The Road to El Dorado, 100%. This I've watched this on multiple dates with multiple women.
I don't blame you. It's great.
Yeah.
Although that expires me. One of the characters in that film, she is quite attractive.
My sister calls me Tulio.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll ask Gabby a question about an animated character. All right. Best movie to see on a date? 12 Years a Slave. No, I'm kidding. I kid.
I was about to go like, oh
God, no. That would be so bad. But actually, funny enough, I actually went on a date with somebody recently, and just as a quick aside, and they said that to go with the animated one, that they went on a date with somebody and were doing stuff, and they were like, it was so weird. They even chose the weirdest movie. The movie that this person chose that they went on a date with at some earlier point in time was a B movie.
And
could you I was like, yeah, there are far better movies to have on in the background than a B movie. But my personal suggestion, if you're not going to go animated, which actually is a completely valid one, David, I would go with The Princess Bride. Because mostly, hopefully they've already seen it, and it's just fun and nice and gets you in that romantic mood, anyways. But again, even if not, there's plenty of opportunities to just kind of cut out and just go into stuff. There's not, even when it's dark, it doesn't go too terribly dark to where it can interrupt any moods or anything going along. So, The Princess Bride, underrated classic, good to have on in the background.
We've arrived at the game, and we welcome back Gabby. Thank you for being patient with us for just a few minutes, and now we are here. She has a computer charger. We are powered up and ready to go, and Phil has prepared a game for us. But first, we have a few questions so that the listener may get to know you, although they know you plenty by now. But we have a few questions to ask you, Gabby. Just random questions. Some of them might be a little spicy, especially from Phil's end. I know he likes to get spicy.
I do.
And is that cool? So we got 3 questions. Phil, why don't you go first?
All right, Gabby, have you ever been sent a drink at a bar? And if not, would you ever send a guy a drink at a bar again before you were married?
I would never drink a drink that a stranger handed to me because I don't want to be
But
roofied.
like normally they do they pay for it and then the bartender brings it to you.
Yeah.
You know, the bartender makes it and gives it to you.
I would be suspicious. And would be very suspicious of that.
So, would you ever send a drink to some other guy down the bar?
I would not roofie someone, but no, I think I would. If I was interested in someone, I would just go up to them and would be like, "Hi, do you want to leave?"
Again, this goes into the whole skipping steps thing. I get it.
I don't want to have a drink. But I think because I'm a woman, the preconceived notion is that a man is always like good to go, but women are like really like hard to get. So I've had times where I've like gone up to someone and watched them try to like ask me to leave. And at one time I said, yeah, I'm gonna say yes, so just say it. And because I like get impatient
Right.
and I'm bored already, like talking about whatever. And
You know, I think you should be a role model to all
it's like
everywhere.
either I already have looked at you for 45 seconds, so I've already assessed whether it's gonna be yes or no.
That's so true, isn't it? Doesn't it like
Yeah.
how long does it take you guys to assess?
Why can't like we just be forefront with our communication? Like we both decided something in the first minute of meeting each other, you know?
Yeah, it's like
Everything else is just sort of piled on
Salad
top of
dressing.
that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
it's either gonna be absolutely never or sure. Those are the two options.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Okay. Phil, you something to
No,
add?
go ahead, David.
All right.
Go ahead.
Abby, what is the number one way to a man's heart, in your opinion?
Well, I know my husband's love language is gifts, but number way to a man's heart. Judging from personal experience, seems to be insanity. Because I'm pretty unpredictable. So
Okay.
just probably keeping it really spontaneous and unpredictable. I would say that my husband is definitely never bored because I am infinitely entertaining. I would say
I thought you were
that's
going to
it.
say milk and cookies, but that's okay.
That's David, I think that we need to talk about your confusion of dating with Santa Claus.
David, that's so weird that you keep bringing up milk and cookies.
It's super
man.
So
weird.
weird.
Like
He has an obsession, it seems.
yeah, like you secretly want Santa to be like your boyfriend, or you want to be Santa and you want people
All right,
to
let's
give
not
you milk.
overanalyze the milk and cookies. Okay.
Yeah, but
All right. My last question here, a completely normal question, Gabby, compared to that guy over there with a lactose hard on. Was there ever, Gabby, a Disney or animated character that you found attractive?
Dimitri, Anastasia,
Yes, both of them are very attractive people. And
How
then you
did
get
you-
Rasputin.
How did you answer that so quickly?
Yeah, that was on the
is so
brain.
good that right instantly.
Even before he said attractive, you were already had the
I already
name
knew what
in
the
your
question
mouth.
was going to be.
Yeah.
I already knew it, and Dimitri, easy.
Wow.
Every girl loves Dimitri, so that's why.
Oh, yes.
He's just number one, has a personality.
That's true.
He's not just like I am rich prince guy. He's like
Fair enough. Yeah.
He can dance.
he could dance.
He's clever. He can scheme. You know, you always have a good time. You have a goal. He's goal oriented.
Yeah, I feel like you could really like hang out with him and chill. Like he's not like a royal prince douche.
What about that guy from Tangled?
And he cleans up well.
He's also got a personality.
No, because he's full of himself in a not positive way.
Okay, I haven't seen Anastasia
stuff.
since I was like 5 years old. So
it actually aged rather well.
It did.
I mean, the music is phenomenal. They've enough to where they even made the Broadway musical off of it. And Kelsey Grammer's in it. Who doesn't love Kelsey Grammer?
Exactly. You got Kelsey Grammer, John Cusack. You got Meg Ryan, and
whoever sings for Meg Ryan, because it ain't Meg Ryan singing that.
Liz Calloway is who sings for Meg Ryan.
That's hilarious. All right. As fun as this was, let's get to the game. The game, of course, is going to be called Knockout First Date Edition. I guess depending on which of our editions there is. So both
Mine
me and
not
David
got anything to do with first dates.
Phenomenal. Mine does, as is usual. The game is called Knockout, where we will be giving whichever host is giving out the game. The other two contestants will have to go within that category and keep going down within the category until they either repeat or run out of things to say within a category. So let's say breakfast foods. They keep going they go with sausage, waffles, pancakes, lobster, and not really part of a breakfast food. You lose. Other person gains a point.
Well, Russia, where I come from.
In Russia, they have a lot of lobsters.
I don't know.
They don't have lobsters in Russia.
Yeah.
I think that's a North American
Maybe
creature.
in eastern Siberia on like the Alaska side of Russia. Maybe they do some lobster fishing over there.
They have like frozen lobsters like Captain America, but that's about it.
I think lobster is east coast of the North Americas.
They live in the ocean, Gabby. There's oceans everywhere.
Yeah, but no.
Ocean. So, anyways,
right.
you get the idea. You understand the game. Gabby,
Okay.
which of us would you like to duke it up against first?
I'm going to say David is the weakest link.
David,
All right.
she wants her dub right off the top, and I will help set the mood for us.
Breakfast, milk and cookies.
Milk and cookies. Milk and
cookies.
cookies. They're two separate things. All right, I will begin. As is per the usual, I have themed mine out to be a first date, but there's also a story element to mine. So let's begin. I will give you the prompt, and immediately, David, you'll start us out first. Immediately, I want you guys to go and go. I will have a timer of 3 seconds. I will go 1, 2, 3. If you don't get it by the number 3, you are
And I'm
out.
starting every time?
No, you're just starting the first time. I'll go, but
right.
I will go. I will give you the story prompt, and then I'll say what the prompt is. You got to go immediately after and start. Here we go.
Gabby has a
Wait.
question.
Oh, go ahead,
We're
Gabby. Yes.
alternating or just going until
Alternating.
Alternating.
Oh, okay.
So after David says his, you'll then say yours. Again, don't repeat and don't run out of time. Here we go. You are on the road to a first date. You guys are driving in your car, and all of a sudden you get to your anonymous restaurant. You're early, as all first dates should be, to put your best foot forward. And your date is on time, and you see your date pull up and park in a David, I want you to start naming brands of cars.
Mercedes.
Ford,
Porsche.
Chevrolet,
BMW.
Jeep,
Lamborghini.
One.
Toyota,
Honda.
Hyundai,
Fiat.
One, two,
Pontiac,
one,
Cadillac.
two. Oh, we're getting there. One, two.
McLaren.
Yeah, buddy. One.
Aston Martin.
Oh, there we go. We're getting to the expensive stuff.
Yeah.
One.
Rolls Royce,
There we go.
Volkswagen.
One, two. Oh, Gabby loses the first one. All right,
cars.
so same prompt. Well, not same prompt, but we'll same idea here, Gabby. Second one. So be ready. You guys sit down and look at the menu, and the waiter comes by to ask if you would have any appetizers. You say, list as many appetizers as possible, Gabby. Go ahead.
Jalapeno poppers,
Jalapeno
Bruschetta.
prawns,
Breadsticks.
like a garlic bread,
Hummus.
buffalo wings.
Celery sticks.
Ugh.
That's on the edge, David. One.
Cheese puffs.
There we go.
Oh man.
One, two.
Mozzarella sticks.
One, two, three. Unfortunately. All right, David, you are on the precipice of victory. One more, and you will have sealed it. Gabby, we are going to go to David first here, but you're on the edge, Gabby.
Which one was celery sticks you said was
Celery sticks. That was real
Man,
questionable.
Who's ordering celery sticks?
And if that's a first date appetizer, it's not a good sign.
They're not going to be fun.
No.
Here we go, David. The appetizers come out.
Milk and cookies.
Yes, I know. Yeah. Oh, that's true. It was right there. The appetizers come out. A lot of cheese, so there's a gentle breeze of flatulence that is kindly ignored by both parties. The waiter comes back and asks, "What would you like to drink?" David, give me adult beverages to order from the bar.
Red wine.
Whiskey sour.
Beer.
Dirty Shirley.
Mojitos.
Screwdriver.
Margaritas.
Wine cooler.
Rum and Coke.
Old fashioned.
One.
Dry martini, shaken not stirred.
Tequila shots.
One.
Are we just gonna go? Oh,
three. All
I
right,
was like,
Gabby.
you
There
know
we
what?
go.
I didn't want to just resort
the
to like
category,
vodka
I
shots,
know.
Jägermeister shots.
All right, Gabby is on the board 1-2. Here we go. Gabby, we'll start with you on this next one. The company is almost as intoxicating as the drinks on this first date. So much so that you guys are looking to get a little adventurous. You take a cab to the nearest airport, and in your shared drunken stupor, you
Wow.
respond to the ticket seller that you would like the 2 one-way tickets to Gabby, name places you can fly to that start with an A.
Alaska,
Athens,
Argentina.
Australia,
Oh.
1, 2,
Austria,
oh. Alexandria,
Arkansas.
Algeria. Arkansas shouldn't count.
Why?
I'm kidding.
1, 2, 3. Alabama was on the board.
You know,
Afghanistan was right
I was
there.
gonna say Alabama, but then I thought that's too much like Arkansas.
out of choice, you know, you got the point in your heart. That is unfortunate. So David has already won this with 3 points already, but Gabby
Wow.
can make it a respectable 2-3 with this last prompt here. Gabby, we'll start with you. You arrive at your location, best first date ever, right? Not 10 days traveling to Kansas, but and you being the bold person you are, I'm already feeling the connection between you. So on the way out of the airplane, you become that person yelling in front of the crowd, asking for everyone's attention. You then get on one knee and bring out your great grandmother's ring that she smuggled out of Switzerland during the war in her dentures.
Switzerland was neutral during the war, just so you know.
Welcome to the joke. And you propose to a resounding yes from your first date. Gabby, name different types of gems that could be within the jewelry.
Emerald,
Diamond,
aquamarine,
ruby,
topaz,
opal,
quartz,
1,
sapphire,
jet,
1, 2,
obsidian.
oof. 1, 2, 3. Oh man, David, a resounding victory at 4. Cubic zirconium was still on the board, although I guess is that a
That's not a gem. That's artificially created in a laboratory.
There we go. So I'm sure that there's some archaeologists out there like, well, there's still verfabrium or something. I don't know, but anyways,
There's a lot of them. I couldn't remember them.
There's a lot of them. All right,
Yeah.
Gabby. Unfortunately, the first one did not go right, as you should have beaten David, but that's all right. That's all right. Continue doing what you're doing. You're up and now against me. Let's hopefully see if we can get the same result, different person. Here we go, David. Your game
went horribly for me.
All right,
Arkansas.
I'm inspired. I'm inspired by you, Phil. I love the way you frame that game. I'm gonna take the random ass categories that I have, and I'm gonna try to melt them into a story here.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
All right. So you meet your date, right? It's a blind date. You've never seen this person before, and you meet on the high street of a quaint little town, and you're not particularly overwhelmed by their appearance, but you're interested. You're open to anything. Looks aren't everything, and so you ask where you want to go, and that person says, "Let's go to the ice cream parlor." And so you go to the ice cream parlor, and you decide, what do I want? What do I want? Phil, we'll start with you. I would like you to name ice cream flavors.
Vanilla.
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
Chocolate.
Pistachio.
Mint.
Watermelon sorbet.
Strawberry.
Mango.
That was literally my next one. Pineapple.
One.
Banana.
1, 2, 3.
Birthday cake would have been my next one. Damn it.
Oh, there were so many still left, like pistachio. Or did
Rocky
you say pistachio?
Road.
Hazelnut.
Road.
Hazelnut's my favorite, if you're listening. you ever want to woo
If
me,
Hazelnut is listening,
if you ever want to woo me, either hazelnut ice cream or, as you well know, milk and cookies.
If you're a woman and you want to woo him, go with hazelnut.
put the hazelnut ice cream in the middle of the cookies
Oh,
and submerge it in a
ooh,
bath of
yeah.
milk.
I love
all
this.
right.
I absolutely love this.
Okay. So you, excuse me. You have your ice cream. You're sitting down
Mhm.
together on a park bench, enjoying your ice cream, talking about all your favorite movies and TV shows. And you reveal that your favorite show ever, your entire life, was The Muppet Show. And she or he says, "Oh my God, me too." But who's your favorite character? All right, Gabby, starting with you, I want you to name Muppet characters.
Oh, Jesus.
Beaker,
Thank God. Kermit.
Ms. Piggy,
Frickin' A, mother.
1, 2.
Animal?
I don't know, actually.
is that from Sesame Street?
I think it is.
Isn't he the... Oh, is he?
I don't know.
Oh,
David, look it up. My hands are here. I don't want it to seem
Yeah.
unfair.
cheating.
Yeah, Sesame Street. So there you go.
Oh,
You got it
okay.
wrong. All right, so Gabby, that is point number
Gonzo
2
would have
for
been
you.
my next one.
The Swedish
Gonzo
Chef.
was my
guys.
next one if Animal had a Swedish
Fozzie
Chef.
Bear.
I'm not gonna lie,
wait,
I
no,
haven't seen a lot of Muppets.
I'm seeing Animal on the list for Muppets too.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought that he,
All right, Gabby, we go to you then. Continue.
all
We
right.
just named
Well,
a few.
it was Gonzo.
Okay, Gonzo, I'll accept it.
Fozzie Bear.
Okay. 1, 2.
Those 2 old men who I don't know the name of.
I'll take it, Phil.
Swedish Chef.
Okay. Gabby. 1, 2.
Is Jim Henson an answer?
Jim Henson. Isn't he the creator?
Yep.
He is the creator.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I would have gone with the chickens.
I'm not gonna lie. I've
The musical
only seen
chickens.
a Muppet Christmas Carol.
And that's great. By the way, Gabby, total side note since you brought that up, how unforgivable is it that David has not ever seen an iteration of the Christmas Carol?
How are you even alive and speak
Thank you.
English?
Does it count if I've seen Ghost of Girlfriends Past?
No.
That was
David,
a joke. It was a joke. Gosh.
I swear to God, this year, David, that is my goal. My
How
goal
has this
for
not
nothing
happened
else.
to you
I'm not against it or anything.
accidentally?
I
I'm not
know
against
it's so
I might have
common.
seen it when I was little. I don't know. I don't remember.
If you're
Oh
gonna
my
watch one, the Muppet Christmas Carol does have
It's
the
quite
best
good.
costuming. Yeah, most accurate.
Quite
All
good.
right.
Quite good.
Well, the score is now level. It's
1-1. Thank you, Jim Henson.
And so you've finished your ice cream. So weird that you had dessert before dinner, but you've moved your way and you've come across this beautiful little Italian restaurant. And you go inside.
Billy
and
Joel was there.
Billy Joel was not there. And you saw someone who looked a little like Billy Joel. And you're like, oh my God, is that Billy Joel? And the person was like, no, that's not Billy Joel. What the hell is wrong with you? So you're looking at the menu for this Italian restaurant and you flip past the pizza because you had pizza yesterday. The waiter comes over and says, what would you like? And you said, I would like this pasta dish. And he said, oh, so we're out of that pasta.
An
You can
Italian
have the
restaurant
same
that's out of
sauce.
pizza and pasta.
No, we're out of that pasta. You can have the same sauce, but you're going to have to choose a different type of pasta.
Oh.
I would like you, Phil, to start naming types of pasta.
Spaghetti.
Tagliatelle.
I'll forgive the pronunciation.
Yeah, no kidding. Penne.
All right.
Ziti.
Tortellini.
Yep. Okay.
Orzo.
1,
Shell.
2.
Ooh.
I'll accept it.
Wait, will you accept elbows?
Oh, yeah, of course. That's great.
What is elbows? Fine. I guess I'll
What
accept
is
it.
elbows?
Yeah, God.
Phil, it's you.
Bow tie.
Oh, okay. Enough of the English iterations of the names. Will not accept any more.
Orbichetti.
Okay.
Will you go with vegan?
What?
Or I guess I don't
Pasta
know.
is vegan usually,
Okay,
except if it has egg.
the vegetable pasta. The vegetable pasta.
No,
Tricolor.
that is not acceptable. You have 3
Okay.
seconds to name an actual type of pasta.
Rotini?
All right.
Very nice. I'm gonna go
1.
fettuccine.
Oh,
Good.
damn it. Nicely done.
1, 2.
Casserole?
No.
Is that what's the wavy? What's
Absolutely
the
not.
Yeah, damn it. What's the sheety one? Not the
Lasagna sheets.
lasagna, damn it, lasagna. All
Yeah.
right.
By the way, your bow tie would actually be called farfalle, which means butterfly. Okay.
Oh. Well, what's elbows called? Because it always says elbows on the package.
Yes,
I have
yes,
no
yes.
idea what that is. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's like the one that's in mac
I'm
and
gonna
cheese.
look it up
It's
right
like
now.
Yeah,
elbow.
it's just the normal mac
With
and
the
cheese one.
letter. Today's
I'll
episode
tell
is
you
brought to
what
you by
it's
the letter
called.
C.
I'll tell you what that's called. It's called macaroni. That's the
Oh.
name.
Of course.
Jesus.
That's hilarious. That's absolutely
Now
phenomenal.
you know what's a good one? Wheels.
Wheels.
I always
Actually,
liked wheels.
Wheels are great. Wheels are fantastic. Those Marie Calendar
Okay,
meals.
so you guys are done with
Dinosaur
you guys are done with dinner, and you go and you buy some magic mushrooms, and you trip
Oh.
hard, and you
Yeah.
start picturing animals. You start hallucinating animals with horns/antlers.
All right.
Gabby, starting with you, I would like you to name animals with horns/antlers.
All right. Antelope.
Deer.
Goat.
Elk.
Cow.
Reindeer.
Moose.
Goat.
Bison.
Oh, we had goat.
Oh, damn it. I was thinking of ram. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it.
I let cow slide because cow is a female version of a
Some
bull.
female cows
yeah,
have
that's true.
steer.
Some do,
horns.
some do.
Of a steer. Yeah,
No.
but that's all right.
Yeah. That means that Gabby, you win that round. Wait, who won the last
Gabby,
round?
you've killed my streak. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
wait.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
No.
won
Gabby
pasta.
won the last one as
She
well.
won
Yeah.
pasta,
So,
yeah.
Gabby, that is you 3. Phil to just 1 point.
David, I'm apologizing for thinking that you were the weak one.
Oh, God.
All
the
right.
Pasta one. The pasta one.
You've come down. We'll play this one last round here. You've come down from your trip, and you're getting to know one another after having some raunchy, hallucinatory sex. And you're getting to know one another, and you're revealing just how many languages you each speak.
Uh-huh.
I would like you, starting with you, Phil, to name European languages.
English.
Polish.
Swedish.
1.
French.
Spanish.
1. Yes.
Catalan.
1.
Italian.
Yes. 1.
Swiss.
I said Swedish.
No. Swiss is a different country altogether, and it's not.
No,
a
they
language.
speak French in Switzerland.
They do speak French in Switzerland. Okay, so Phil, you'll get 1 more point there. Congratulations.
Yes.
It ends 3-2. Well done, except for that pasta round. That was atrocious.
Do you want me to go tagliatelle?
I think that was
No,
the
I just
highlight
don't want
of the game.
elbows. You literally, you're like, what's the pasta they use in macaroni and cheese? I mean,
it says elbows. Go.
It also
pick it
says
up with
macaroni.
A Barilla.
Wow.
Well,
okay, Gabby, it's been something of a pleasure having you here with us.
Gabby, it's been
something.
It's been exhilarating. Thank you so much for coming on and giving us a fresh perspective on both first dates and, of course, knockout things and pasta. Really, is there anything, Gabby, you would like to promote before we kick you out?
Oh, sure. If you like historical things, I have a YouTube channel that's called Gabrielle Westwood, and I make historical costumes, and I do tablet weaving.
She's real
good
at
it. And you weave. Do you weave on the channel?
I do sometimes, yeah. I do
That's
weave.
phenomenal.
Yeah, my top video is actually DIY weaving loom. That's my biggest hitter.
That's your claim to fame right now off the YouTube. Well, there you go. Something for you to check out while out there listening. Gives you a visual medium with which to see Gabby beyond the promos. So make sure to go and check that out. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for coming here and powwowing with us, Gabby. It's been a pleasure, and we will have you back on as soon as we can.
Yes.
We'll try to weave you in.
Nice.
Oof.
And with that loss, I go back down to a medium record of 21-21, while David, with that victory, now pulls closer to 20-22.
And 22 in 2022. Crazy.
Ooh! Jake Corling on the bass. Thank you so much, Jake. Let's go to That Slaps. David, where would you like to go first?
Yeah, I'll start us out with something that I think is maybe lacking from our That Slaps playlist. One of the few genres that we haven't dabbled so much in. And I'm going to take us to a little reggaeton.
Oh.
This is something that is very kind of on theme, actually, because the lyrics, if you listen to them, obviously they're in Spanish, but it's talking about how we're just two strangers who just want to kiss each other, and
Of course.
maybe we'll fall in love. Maybe we're scared to fall in love, but we're gonna have a good time. And I think that that's on theme. This was a song showed to me by my ex, who is obviously she's from Peru, so she's Hispanic. She's cool, and she showed me the song. It's called Desconocidos. It's by Mau y Ricky. Mau y Ricky, featuring Manuel Turizo and Camilo. So it is a reggaeton song, and you can check it out on our playlist coming soon.
Coming soon. All right. For me, I was walking around the other night. Recently, ever since I've been to my grandma's house, I've rediscovered walking. I know, as crazy as that might sound, but
Walking?
yeah, it's a great thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's
No.
I've actually been able to, because my grandma's in a nicer area of town, so I've just been walking around lately, man. Especially late at night after I get off of work. It's beautiful, especially with it being a little nipply, a little chilly. It's been great just to walk around.
Nippling.
Yeah. Oh,
That
nippy,
is
huh?
the term. That is the term that they use on the Weather Channel, nippling.
Yes. Depends on depends on the channel, but yes.
I did say the Weather Channel, Phil.
Yeah, sure. It's getting there's a never mind. All right. Anyways, walking around, I've been able to actually go back and like listen to music. God, it's been so long since I've discovered more than just a song. So I listened to The Weeknd's new album. I listened to, I'm gonna say, Charlie Puth's new album, but it's more so just the most recent album that he released. Why did nobody tell me it was a bop? Voice Notes is a bop. I hate that I like it. I wish that I didn't, because I was like, because so often I'm liking his music.
I jammed to Charlie Puth, man.
Charlie Puth, his producing skills are out of this world.
I just want to say, a couple times now, it sounded like you just said Charlie Poo.
No, I know it's Charlie Puth. Got to emphasize the but yes, Charlie Puth, phenomenal producing talent. But from that album, a surprise gem is "Somebody Told Me." Somebody Told Me by Charlie Puth. If you haven't heard it already, go listen to it. That slaps. We have some thank yous and mentions to get out of the way here first, David.
Yeah, thank you so much to Cass and Crossland and to Jake Corlang for some of the music that you hear on this show.
Thank you to Tara Amstutz and Josh Hans for their wonderful contributions to the show. You guys make the show so much prettier in both
visual and audio.
Sense.
Yes, thank you so much, guys.
And thank you for you, the listener, for listening to this episode, whether or not this is your first episode or your 49th episode, as we are nearing that pinnacle of 50 episodes, David. As we are nearing that. Either way, thank you so much for listening. If you haven't listened to any of the old episodes, or are feeling nostalgic, go back down memory lane. We have a bunch of timeless episodes down in the old archive there that you can certainly listen to on Spotify, Apple Playlists, Apple Podcasts. We even are on Amazon Music. That's a new one that I recently discovered on a couple different ones. We're on everywhere that you can possibly find us for podcasts, we believe, except for Pandora, because screw you, Pandora.
Phil, next week is episode 50.
It is. It really is.
See you then. You know, I love a man with a hairy chest. Would you like to go on a date with me? Excuse me, sir, back away. That's not a man, that's a bear.